And we're back at Bullpen 2024 during Bio Week 2024. I'm James Zanewicz of Tulane Medicine and the Alliance for AI in Healthcare. And with me, I have Monty Kosma of DataJoint.
Hi there, James.
Hey, welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm going to have 3 questions for you today, but the first one has 2 parts. So I'll repeat the second part if I need to. Okay. So first, what we would like to do is ask you a little bit about your background, how you got where you are, and then the second part is, how did you find the bullpen?
Okay, well, how I got where I am, I've been in a little bit of everything for my career. I got to know Richard Feynman as a teenager, as a physicist, and he was the most alive person I ever met, curious about everything, and I thought, oh, I could do that. So I went from there into neuroscience briefly, then into computational electromagnetics and supercomputing, then into startups, then into law, then into McKinsey, and then back to startups. I built movie businesses and, a zillion Amazon-based platforms, and then met, man who's become one of my best friends, my co-founder, the genius behind DataJoint, a couple years ago. And
nice.
We built this thing together.
Very good. And so how did you find the bullpen?
I found the bullpen at JPM this year, my first time ever at JPM. And there was this amazing network of people that were just really, really helpful for a newbie on the ground at that crazy event.
The venue was incredible too. Like, you can't beat staring at the bridge from, a yacht club.
I mean, although,
this is pretty good too.
Car's pretty cool too.
I mean, pretty good. I mean, we got these right here. Oh, we get to take these home for doing the interview, right, guys? They didn't say yes. But anyway, so I want to turn now to a little more about DataJoint.
Sure.
What is DataJoint? What does it do? Give us a little of the story behind it.
Sure. So DataJoint basically is a system for managing data and computation for large-scale, complex scientific research projects. And really, the thing that's cool about DataJoint is we can make an entire study transparent, reproducible, scalable, reusable. So it was invented by Dimitri. He had been a decade in startups as a database scientist, 3 degrees in computer science, and worked at GE Medical, worked in a few neuroscience startups, got really interested and went back to Baylor College of Medicine to do his PhD in neurophysiology. And with that experience, walking into the lab and seeing just how poorly data was managed and structured, he invented this system, DataJoint, which is an open source system. It's a language for expressing an entire scientific study. The code, the data models, and all the relationships. So he invented that. It was initially, like, one of the first projects it was used on was the $100 million microns project, funded by IARPA. And today we're actually working with the whole microns team at Princeton, the Allen Institute, the Telias Lab now at Stanford, and with Nature. Nature's doing a special issue on microns, and we're going to be working with them to publish a digital, the digital data, the entire study, really, and aiming to show the world. This is going to be early next year. We're going to show the world that it's actually possible to take an incredibly large, complex study and make it transparent, reusable, verifiable, and hopefully the foundation for just an immense number of more discoveries.
So I guess, just to simplify it, you have a joint the data hangs out in and then figures out how to simplify itself and explain itself better. Is that true?
I guess so.
Oversimplified, but
Yeah, it's the joint where the data hangs out. I've never thought of it that way.
I mean, it's a data joint.
I was always thinking about, you can have a custom pipeline. You want to roll your own. But,
there you go. We are in California. Yeah.
We can't do that in Texas, but it's okay.
All right. And then my last question for you, I'd like to know, because the bullpen, as you know, has the mantra of, find somebody, help somebody, repeat. What can the bullpen do to help you? And then, when people feel like you meet that need, how do they get in touch with you?
Excellent. The real need is not just a need of us at DataJoint, it's really a need of science. We've been collaborating with the Applied Physics Lab at Johns Hopkins, with folks from Pfizer, Dartmouth, Harvard Medical School. We have a paper that's under submission right now to Nature Methods on this idea of SciOps, science operations. And I was in the DevOps revolution, 2007, 2009, that period. One of the things that happened then was conference. A bunch of folks, sysadmins got together and wrote the DevOps manifesto and all the principles for what does it actually take to bring software development into this new age. And it integrates ideas from Taiichi Ohno and Toyota Production System and, lean thinking, agile programming, all these things came together, and we ended up with new companies like GitHub and Docker and capabilities that really, without them, we wouldn't have these, small businesses like all of SaaS or the cloud. And so what I want more than anything is we're going to be gathering people, probably in connection with, the first time might be in connection with the INCF conference coming up Dimitri, our founder, is chairing that conference in Austin later this summer. And I want to get the people together who are thinking about the future of science, SciOps, and what's possible with actually transforming the way we think about the scientific method and how we end up taking not just science, for basic research, but for the whole value chain. How can we actually make science reliable, reproducible, and make discovery really, really fast and productive? So I want to get people together that are really interested in that future with ideas to, build this together. Let's create SciOps. And what's going to happen, if you look at what happened with DevOps, transforming the whole world of software development.
Right.
Like, what does that end up creating? What's now possible in science 10 years from now if we do that today?
Mm-hmm. And if somebody who's listening right now resonates with what you just said, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, email me. It's Monty, MONTY, @datajoint.com. And we're very, very excited to work with the world and with the world of the Bullpen. So
that's easy. I like it. We're here with Monty Kosma of DataJoint. Want to thank him for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.
And want to wish everyone to have a great Bio 2024.